Today, Donald Trump appeared noticeably outmatched in his meeting with Vladimir Putin. Instead of showing strength, he came across as hesitant and easily overshadowed. What was framed as a peace summit quickly turned into an embarrassing moment where Trump seemed to give up ground without much resistance. On top of that, new questions are being raised about his health, as he looked tired and struggled throughout the event. We're going to break down the details of this meeting, what analysts are saying about how it all unfolded, and the growing conversation around Trump's condition. But before diving in, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps us continue bringing you independent coverage.
Wallace, no details, no agreement. What then was the point of this meeting?
Well, I think the press conference underscored something that Ambassador McFaul and Ali Velshi and I have been talking about since 4 p.m. Eastern. I mean, this was, for Trump, a television production that may have been rooted in different motives, but one of them was likely to change the topic of news coverage. It succeeded in that. We've all been covering this all day, for better or for worse. But clearly, Trump was not in control of anything. I mean, Putin was the alpha all day long, from Trump holding on his plane and waiting for him like a, middle schooler waiting for their first date. The red carpet that rolled out and the choreography. I mean, I went to dozens of foreign trips with the president. It is very rare to have a red carpet and then an ascent to a platform and then a walk down the stairs into a limo together. I won't say it's never happened, but it's exceedingly rare, to the point that I can't think of it ever happening before. And then Donald Trump, don't stand between Donald Trump and a scrum of reporters asking questions if you don't want to be stampeded. There's no way it was Donald Trump's decision or request to take no questions. He'd be talking until 9 p.m. Eastern if he'd been in control of anything that happened today.
It began, Ali Velshi, with Putin calling the U.S. and Russia dear neighbors.
Yeah, talking about how close
we are. There was a history lesson about Alaska somewhere in there, and then it ended with an invitation for the President of the United States to come to Moscow. This
is like my lunch every day. It's a lot of production and not many calories. The Alaska as a Russian colony until 1867, it was going in a direction that Donald Trump, I don't know if he's right up on that.
This meeting ended up being more of a staged photo opportunity than a serious diplomatic event. For Donald Trump, it was a chance to project the image of seeking peace, but without securing any real benefits for the United States or for Ukraine. For Vladimir Putin, it was a way to polish his image and appear as a legitimate global leader despite his ongoing actions. The outcome favors Putin, as he now sets the stage for future meetings in Russia, buys time, and creates doubts among European allies about America's commitment. Once again, Trump appeared overwhelmed, looking exhausted and unprepared. He even avoided most questions at the press conference, only taking one from a friendly outlet, and still came across as unconvincing.
Happy to hear him say, if I was president, that war would have never happened.
Mr. President, that was my next question. He said at the joint press conference that and you have said this many, many times, and he confirmed for the world today, that if you were president, this wouldn't have happened. Did any of the specifics come up as to why he said that?
It did. It doesn't matter at this point, but that this war should never have happened. A lot of wars should never have happened. There was stupid things go down and the wrong people are talking, but Biden was a terrible president in so many ways. He should have never let it happen, and it did. There are millions of people killed. I mean, it's the worst thing since I see everyone saying worst since World War II by far. There's nothing even close. But we had a very good meeting today, and I think a lot of points were negotiated. On behalf of Ukraine and on behalf of the whole NATO situation, where we're dealing very well with a lot of foreign countries that are great, European countries. Look, as far as I'm concerned, there's no deal until there's a deal, but we did make a lot of progress.
So after getting steamrolled by Putin, Donald Trump decides he's going to roll over once again. And what? Putin gets seconds. He's going to praise him. He's going to say how great he is, what a smart guy he is, how tough a negotiator he is. When Donald Trump is sending out his idiotic tariff letters, is he ever talking about how tough the negotiators are on the other end? No, he's always saying how sad they're going to be, how upsetting it is, how America's finally getting its get back, but not with Putin, not an ending a war. You just talk about how easily you'll fold. Really, Trump just did this because he wanted Putin to say that he wouldn't have started the war if Trump was still president in 2022. An easy thing for Putin to say, and it's meaningless. It does nothing. It just shows how weak Trump is. That is what he is so desperate for. And his weakness was also showed off in his little health scandal going on right here. Trump, 79, puts cankles on full display as he meets Putin. Donald Trump's swollen ankles have made an appearance for the first time in weeks during his high-stakes summit with Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin, prompting renewed questions about his health. After greeting Putin in Alaska on Friday and giving him the red carpet treatment, the two leaders sat down for their first face-to-face meeting in years as the American president sought to find an end to the war in Ukraine. Not really. He just wanted a photo. But photos taken at the summit showed Trump's ankles looking somewhat enlarged again, weeks after the White House revealed that he had been diagnosed with a chronic condition. CVI is a common condition in people over the age of 70 in which the veins of a person's body have trouble returning blood to the heart. While the condition isn't life-threatening, that's disappointing. Doctors say it gets riskier with age and can be exacerbated by a poor diet of mostly McDonald's. Trump's health was subject to scrutiny in the days leading up to the summit, with reporters asking White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt for an update earlier this week. "Look, you see the president every day," she told reporters Tuesday. "He's moving, he's working, he's continuing. There have been no adjustments made to his lifestyle." But on Friday, a spokeswoman declined to answer questions about the president's health and view of the latest images other than to refer the Daily Beast to Leavitt's earlier comments. The White House was also non-committal when CBS reporter Ed O'Keefe asked on Tuesday if Trump's White House physician could be made available to answer questions about the president's health.
Trump did not lose, but Putin clearly won. Trump didn't come away with anything except more meetings. Putin has, I think, gone a long way to reestablishing the relationship, which I've always believed was his key goal. He has escaped sanctions. He's not facing a ceasefire. The next meeting is not set. Zelensky was not told any of this before this press conference. It's far from over. But I'd say Putin achieved most of what he wanted. Trump achieved very little. And I will say one other thing. I thought Trump looked very tired up there. I mean, very tired. Not disappointed, tired. And we'll have to reflect on what that means.
Donald Trump's summit with Vladimir Putin went so poorly that it has even reignited questions about his health and fitness for these high-stakes meetings. Republicans may try to spin it as a win, but there's no real evidence of any achievement here. A few staged photos and flattering words from Putin don't add up to an America First victory. In reality, the meeting looked more like an exercise in boosting Trump's ego than delivering results for the United States or Ukraine. Even conservative media figures struggled to defend the performance. While Sean Hannity attempted to provide cover, most others were left without much to say, stunned by how unconvincing and unprepared Trump appeared. Analysts like Nicole Wallace and Congressman Eric Swalwell have since broken down just how damaging and embarrassing the day was and why it raised more concerns than confidence.
Soft on Russia also means that we end up being soft on China, because if China was to move on Taiwan, there's no European ally for a second would consider even jumping in with us after watching us abandon Ukraine. So today, Donald Trump masterfully demonstrated the art of no deal. And also, I would be interested in Ambassador McCall's thinking on this, because Trump wanted to point out a couple times the business potential that could come out of this, but I don't really understand, what can we get from Russia? What do we need from Russia? Like more vodka and caviar at Mar-a-Lago? They're not big trading partners even during the best times. So it just shows how easily he can be manipulated by them to believe that he's getting something.
The biggest takeaway from today is clear. Donald Trump is showing signs of being weaker than ever, while at the same time becoming more easily influenced by those around him. That combination is not only concerning, it's potentially dangerous, and it's something we will continue to call out here on this channel. If you'd like to support this work, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and if you've made it all the way to the end, leave a blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I will see you soon.